Metis, of course, right now, Metis is a layer 2, leading layer 2 in terms of the cheapest fees. So our fees are right now unbeatable among other layer 2 solutions, while we stay in a decentralized and also very fast speed. So basically, we are solving the blockchain trilemma. This is decentralization versus cost versus speed. So this one is solved, haha. And Metis right now, as you see on the L2bit, for example, and other websites, is right now is a leader in the low cost and low fees. So as we went to the Amsterdam for the event, so we connected with the L2bit team, with the other researchers as well, because this is something in our L2 technology that is so latest and greatest that guess what? There's no name for it yet. So we are right now is still looking for the feedback from the community. We connected with L2bit, as I said, and they proposed the name Optimistic Chain, and that's how right now they classify us, but we're still in the progress of looking of the proper name. So because the reason for that, because chain is not an accurate word, as it would imply the consensus mechanism. Metis is still rolling up the transactions and posting them on L1, which is Ethereum. So technically, it is a roll up of the transactions. It's just different from the classical roll up, and it's somewhere in the middle right now between roll up and a plasma. So that's why the word roll up maybe is not as accurate, but we are looking for other names. Right now, we just agreed to call this name is Smart L2, but we're looking for, into our community and researchers to actually find the proper name. So for you to find the proper name and help us in that, we're going to explain exactly what and how we are different. So starting from the optimistic rollup. So what is the optimistic rollup? And we used to be complete optimistic rollup up until the recent time. So this slide we displayed through all our presentations before, about live streams before, so you saw that. So what we build on top of Ethereum. Build on top of Ethereum. We, of course, collect and batch transactions. We post them on Ethereum layer 1. And we also assume that all transactions are valid until proven otherwise, which means that we leave this 7-day window for the prod proofs to be posted and to challenge the transactions. And of course, all the transactions are finally getting posted on layer 1. So in that regard, we actually is very much in line with optimistic rollup, except one point. And at this point, I would like to bring Pavel to explain UTech in a little bit more detail and where exactly it gets different.
For the design space that we're looking at, as an optimistic rollup before, how it worked before, we batched all the transactions together, all of the individual transactions were posted on chain. After that, you can take that and you can basically recompute it on your own local verifiers. You can basically compare the end result that is posted by the sequencers. With that, you have all of the transaction data available. That's how an optimistic rollup works. In our solution to this, now, of course, this as an optimistic rollup, you have a lot of the transactions. So all of the state data that, or at least all of the transaction data is posted there. This requires a large amount of gas, or large amounts of the gas fees still present in order to post all of that data. Now, what we've done is we've taken the exact data and we've posted only what is necessary and what is required to the chain. With that, when if something goes wrong, if the sequencer, for example, tries to do anything malicious, the fraud proof that a verifier would post would invoke data coming from the data storage layer that we currently have and would bring it back on chain. So when the data is needed, when the data is when a fraud proof is being posted, the actual data would all be moved on chain and everything would be resolved on Ethereum layer 1. So this is a classification in a technical sense, like a lazy loading mechanism, where you have the actual transactions would be posted and the state would be posted as well and recomputed on Ethereum layer 1 when needed and when invoked by a verifier on the network. So in this case, this greatly reduces the transaction or the transaction cost of all transactions on Metis layer 2. So this mechanism basically collects all the transactions, post the transaction root and also the state root. And then when needed, when a fraud proof is posted and when data needs to be verified on layer 1, all the rest of the transaction data is brought back on chain and everything is resolved on layer 1. So that's the main difference.
Thank you, Pavel, for that explanation. So yes, again, so this is our article about that. So you can scan your QR code and our QR code and get into the article. So dig deep into it. We would love you to question us. We would love you to come up with this new name that is some right now. It is L2. It is in the middle of probably somewhere in the middle of L2, of the rollup and the plasma. Yes, so thank you so much. So for this, yeah, and actually we referred to the article that was posted earlier by Vitalik. And so this is exactly what we're doing, exploring the design space between plasma and rollup by posting only the necessary data onto L1 and post the additional data on demand. So this is a smart way of doing that. This is the energy saving way. This is the money saving way of doing that. But at the same time, this way is extremely secure still and decentralized as well.